Hi, this is Brad from Pro Wrestling Junkies, and you're here for another episode of Getting to Know a Junkie. As we do each episode, we meet a junkie, a member of this great community. We hear about their background, their interests, where they're from, and then we're even that much closer. Today's guest is in Fort Worth, Texas right now, and his name is Mr. Eddie Gonzalez. Eddie, how are you?
Hey, good brother. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Are we in the same time zone? I'm in Central Time Zone. Is that where you are?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Central.
So, but you're not from Fort Worth.
Yeah, I grew up in Pennsylvania, about north of Philly.
Oh, okay. And how long were you living there for?
So I was 18 years old. Then I enlisted into the Air Force, and then that took me to New Mexico. That's where my wife's from. Lived there for a while, and then we just recently moved to Fort Worth. So I'm here now.
Oh, wow. So you've been all over.
Yeah, I have.
So you're an Eagles and Sixers fan, obviously.
Yeah.
And what about in the Phillies as well? I assume.
Oh yeah, all of them. Flyers. Yeah.
So what part of where you grew up as a kid? Where was that as in relation to the city?
It was a small town called Bristol, Pennsylvania, and it's about 30 miles north of Philly. And let me give you a fun fact. That's where Ring of Honor headquarters used to be. That's where the dojo used to be.
Oh, wow. Did you ever go over there?
I didn't know that until not too long ago. Unfortunately, I wasn't too familiar with the indie scene at that time until a lot of the top indie guys started going to WWE. That's when I started researching it, and lo and behold, that was in my hometown.
Oh, that's funny. Without you knowing it was going on there.
Yeah.
So, do you you went into the Air Force?
Yes.
And how long were you in the Air Force for?
Yeah, I was there till 2001 to 2006. I did 5 years.
Was that something you grew up wanting to do?
I thought about it when I was a kid, man, but when I was in towards the end of my high school run, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so an Air Force recruiter came in. I filled out a card that I was interested. Next thing you know, he's picking me up from my house, and I'm raising my hand up and taking an oath.
Oh my gosh! So that was a complete shock, a culture shock.
It was a fast-paced process, man, and but it was the best thing I ever did in my life. Proud to serve my country, and
thank you.
And hey, man, it led me to where I am today, man. So
and that's a good place, and that's in a good place.
Yeah, I'm very blessed, man. So.
Awesome. So let's get on some wrestling here. What was your first wrestling memory?
This is a funny one, man.
Let's hear it.
So when I was about 5 years old, and one day my parents, or I don't remember the situation, but I was watching TV, and I was watching these two guys come out, and they're wearing shoulder pads with spikes. And they're coming out, and I was, no lie, I was scared to death. I wanted nothing to do with it. So then, fast forward a couple years later, I think I was in second grade, and a couple kids had the action figures. They had, Hogan, Ted DiBiase, Macho Man, the Ultimate Warrior, those like very like first action figures. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, hey, who are those guys? I was like, oh, it's on there's this show Saturday morning. So all right, so the very next Saturday morning, it was I think it was a Brother Love show, and Rick Martel came out and sprayed Jake the Snake Roberts with the arrogant spray, and I've been hooked ever since, man.
That was awesome.
That's like over 30 years ago, man.
Yeah, I remember that. I was mid 80s that's when I started getting into it, like 85.
Yeah.
So would you say wrestling's an important part of your life?
Absolutely, man, because Yeah, I watch Raw every week. SmackDown, AEW is the big thing now. I love AEW.
Yeah.
NXT. I watch some indie stuff. A little bit of New Japan, but the great thing about it is my 7-year-old son is loves it too. So we watch it together.
That's really funny because
he's in the other room. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
I'm sorry. Well, he's currently in the other room right now watching WWE Network, and he's watching Royal Rumble 2016. So I get my money's worth with the WWE Network.
Yeah, that's really funny because since I moved to Champaign in March, my wife had always been, I don't want you showing the kids wrestling. She doesn't know. She came from a different world. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're 7 and 10 years old. Well, ever since I moved here, I've been easing in watching wrestling. And my 7-year-old loves watching the Royal Rumbles.
Awesome. Yep.
Yeah, totally. So that's such a great feeling. Was that like when you were a kid, did you have that with your dad?
No, he wasn't into it like I was, but he did. He supported me, and he took me to the events in Philly, man. So. And
how about your wife? What's her feeling about it?
She doesn't mind it, but it's nonstop in the house. It's constantly on, and I have a 5-year-old as well. And they're constantly having matches in the living room. They're having matches. They're using the couch as the ring ropes. They're gonna destroy our couch. No matter how much we yell at them, man, they're gonna jump on the couch.
Are they?
They
boys?
2 boys, 2 wild boys.
Yeah, you can't stop that. You can only hope to minimize it.
Well, I'm kind of secretly training them either to be like the Hardy Boys or like the Young Bucks. That's how they started. So we're about to get a trampoline, and hey, never know, man.
No, it's good to have that hidden agenda.
Yeah.
So do you have any hobbies or collections? And they don't have to be wrestling related.
Let's see. Yeah, I do watch a lot of wrestling. I do the basic stuff. I work out. My main hobby right now, I train jiu-jitsu right now.
Oh, wow.
I do compete in tournaments. So that's one of my main hobbies.
How long have you been doing that for?
Maybe 3.5 years.
And is that like intense training?
Yeah, it's definitely intense. And the tournaments are intense. You walk into a tournament, it's just like you just feel the intensity, and then right before your match, it's real nerve-wracking. But it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of camaraderie, and it's very therapeutic.
Oh, I bet gets out. It releases a lot of different emotions, I imagine.
Yep, it's great, man.
So, does she watch wrestling with you, on a Monday or Wednesday night or Friday night?
No, it's not in her agenda. I think when we first started dating, she watched it with me, but I think that was just to get in my pants, But
the whole courting process.
I'm just joking, but no, she's not. I mean, she'll watch it along, but it's not. If it's on, it's not like she's glued to the TV. She'll do something else.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, you're watching AEW? Nice. It's never like that.
Yeah, It's not like, don't watch it without me.
Have you or will you be taking your children to live events? Obviously once things return.
I took my son when we were living in. I used to live in Albuquerque. Mm-hmm. I took him to his first event. I think he was like 4 or 5. And unfortunately, when I was living in Albuquerque, I bought AEW tickets, and I was supposed to be in May, and hey, guess what happened after that? So I was gonna take my son to AEW, to Dynamite.
Mm-hmm. That sucks.
It does, man.
But whatever. They're young enough where they can deal with a year and a half.
It'll happen again, man. Hey, things will get back to normal. We'll be going back to wrestling shows, you know.
And it's going to be awesome when like that happens, you know.
And I believe we'll appreciate it more.
Absolutely. All right. Favorite wrestler of all time, favorite wrestler currently.
Okay, favorite wrestler of all time. I gotta go with Bret Hart, man. That was like, cause I started watching 90, and then so early to mid 90s, you know, Bret Hart was the guy, and to me, it's Bret Hart. That was like the first guy that I really idolized, and I think overall, you know, Bret Hart, man, I just think he was the man. I think he planted, you know, he wasn't there for the full Attitude Era, man, but I think he really planted a lot of the seeds.
Oh, for sure.
He got Stone Cold over. You know, the Mr. McMahon angle started coming about. So to me, you know, I think he was great as a heel. He was great no matter what he did, man. So,
yeah, I mean, he helped get DX ready, you know.
Yep.
You know, with the like the, you know, the Canadians and them, that feud. Okay, currently.
Ah, man, there's I got to go with Jericho, man. Jericho's my guy right now. If I were to pick, in my opinion, I think he's the best right now, just because of his longevity, and you know, and I think he coined the phrase reinventing themselves, and he coined that phrase, and he's the only one that's really doing it like consistently, man. Like I don't know, I just think Jericho, his work in AEW speaks for itself. He's putting guys over. You know, he's not just winning titles, but just the way he's putting guys over as well. You got to look at it from different angles, you know, all perspectives, and that's how I look at it. And he's, you know, and he was the one that got the torch running for AEW. You know, like a lot of people didn't know who. You know, unless you're like really hardcore, a lot of people didn't know Young Bucks, Kenny. Some people were familiar with Cody, but everybody knows Chris Jericho. You know what I mean?
And he's always entertaining. Like, you're never going to be let down as far as that. Yeah. All right, best show you've been to.
So this shirt I'm wearing right now, this is Royal Rumble. What was it? 2018. It was 2018. That's when. That was the debut of the Women's Royal Rumble. That was also the night when Ronda Rousey debuted.
Oh, okay, yeah, totally.
And you know, that was a special week. That was a special couple weeks for me because that was my first ever pay-per-view, and that was and then a couple weeks later, Eagles won the Super Bowl. So that was really, you know.
I have to say I'm a Bears fan, you know, and we have Nick Foles right now. And I said to my dad today, we're not going to a Super Bowl with this guy. Like, he could retire today, and like, he was a Super Bowl MVP, and his career's fine. You know, Bears aren't going anywhere.
Hey, beat Brady again, man.
Yeah, I know. All right, we're going to do the Would You Rather game. It's unrelated to wrestling. Okay. Would you rather walk around Yellowstone National Park with peanut butter all over your face, or swim in the ocean with meat hanging off of you?
Oh, wow. You know what, man? I love peanut butter, man, so I'll go with the peanut butter, man.
Okay. Would you rather be...
chances.
Yeah, seriously. Would you might get... And you know you don't have an allergy at this point to it, so... Would you rather be captured by aliens or ISIS?
Ooh, wow.
It's a tough one.
I'll take my chances with ISIS.
Okay. And finally, would you rather eat your way out of a giant apple pie or a giant deep dish pizza?
I'm gonna go with the apple pie, man. I think I can devour that.
Yeah,
faster.
And I thought that one. I at first thought that might be harder to get out of because it's syrupy. But then, like the cheese and stuff and tomato sauce on the pizza, I don't think either of us are going to ever be in this position. But yeah, I would go eating my way out of a giant apple pie as well.
Yeah.
And that one was just because I went to an apple orchard today, so that's what popped
there you
into
go.
my head. Yeah. Eddie, it was great having you on. I'd love to have you on again, and we can talk more now that we know each other, and everyone will know you even a little better. Anything you want to say or plug or anything?
Hey man, I really appreciate the time doing this. This was a lot of fun, and Pro Wrestling Junkies, best wrestling site on the web. I wish all the admins and everybody the best, and you guys are doing great things, man. And I'm really proud to be a part of it, man.
Awesome. All right, listen, you have a great weekend. I will see you on the page. I'm sure, very soon, I'm sure. And yeah, take care. Stay healthy.
All right, take care, brother.
All right, thank you.